Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Hawk and I. Today I thought I would just simply chat about my dead friends, the dead folk that I work with. I see spirits everywhere I go, and they hang out with me and out with me and drive with me. And we've had some real fun adventures together. Now, with the people who have passed, I do see them all the time. Especially when I'm out and about. But I don't always come forward and approach somebody for a reading. What I have with Spirit is called the go ahead sign. So, Spirit and I have the sign that needs to appear in front of the person that I'm about to approach. And it's more or less letting me know that the person is open and ready to speak to their loved one. And if I don't see that sign, I don't approach people. And if I do see that sign, you're getting a reading. Quite often, the greatest place to give readings will be the grocery store or shopping malls or amazing places where spirit will just suddenly randomly appear and off I go. Restaurants. My poor partner has been left at tables quite a few times where I'll say to him, I'll be right back. And he knows when I say I'll be right back, it may be 45 minutes to an hour. And it's because I'm just pulled. I'm pulled with spirit. It's extremely important to them to connect. And usually those readings are very profound. Usually there's a lot of closure that's needed. Quite often it may have been a sudden passing or an accident that, just didn't get any closure. And spirit really needed me to go forward. And my partner is extremely, extremely understanding. But yet restaurants tend to pull me away from what I'm doing. The other thing is, the spirit does like to drive with me. I'll be driving along, and spirit will hop in, and we've got this having these lovely chats, and it's just an amazing space to always be in, is to hang out with spirit, hang out with people who have passed, and just have such a wonderful time. I think for me, one of the main reasons why spirit is just so much fun is they're just so clear and honest, and they're just so loving and fun, and they just kind of bring you to a different perspective in life. And it's just it's a big part of who I am, and they're everywhere that I go. And they also randomly show up in my house. So, for example, I did get up the other morning, and there in my kitchen was this lovely Portuguese lady who was cooking away and cleaning my kitchen, and I greeted her with a good morning and how can I help you? And there was nothing that she wanted from me. She was literally just hanging out. She had popped by for a visit. And the reason I can see her is because I'm connected. And we had this lovely chat, and she gave me some advice on what would be a good morning food for my family. And away she went. Sometimes they do appear for me with information, and I'll post them on my Facebook page I have so and so here, and here's their name, and this is what they're telling me about, and they're looking for so and so. And usually within minutes or within the day, I'll get a response or a comment that, oh my gosh, that's my dad or that's my mom. And then I'll do a reading online with people to give them that question. The thing with spirit, when they do come forward with messages, it's quite profound, because usually the odds of me meeting that person is very, very slim. So when they come forward messages out in public like that, they're usually quite profound. One of the ones that sticks out to me the most was I was out in the store, and there was this lovely lady who was doing her shopping, and I got a tap on my shoulder from her grandson who had passed away a tragic death, and his grandmother had raised him from birth. So he didn't get a chance to have any goodbyes, and they had missed a lot of special moments, and his grandmother was struggling. And what was happening was because of the nature of his death and the fact that there was no closure, she was refusing to eat. And she was, slowly, fading away and becoming very unhealthy. So he taps me on the shoulder and he says to me, "This is who I am, and this is what happened, and that's my grandma. Can you go over and talk to her?" So over I go, and I do my usual hello. um, I'm a medium, and I can I just talk to you for a second? And because I have my go ahead sign, the response for a millisecond is usually a bit taken back, but very open and intrigued about what's going to come out of my mouth. So this grandson had a beautiful 30 minutes with his grandmother, and they got a chance to get some closure, and she had a chance to say goodbye. But what was fascinating with this story was the grandmother was not from the area that I was in. She was passing through. And she was passing through to go visit some other family members. And the purpose of her visit was to say goodbye to them. her depression was taken over, and she felt that she could no longer stay in this world. I gave her my card at the end of the reading, and I just said, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to either call me or email me. I was very touched by the story between this grandson and his grandmother. And about a month went by, and I got this phone call. And she's like, hi, do you remember me? And you talked to my grandson. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And she said to me, I just wanted to let you know that moment that you spent with me changed my entire perspective, and it changed my entire point of view on where I was and what I wanted to do. She was going to take her life. And having a moment with her grandson gave her some closure that she so was desperate for, that she was so seeking. And she was just so grateful that I had the courage. And she used that word. She said, how courageous of you. You got so much courage to come up to a stranger in a store and say, hey, and for me, there is just absolutely no doubt in that. I trust Spirit. If my go ahead sign is there, we're going in, and we're going in together, because Spirit will never take me into a situation that isn't good for me, or isn't good for somebody else. Spirit is very respectful. If somebody is closed or isn't ready to hear from a loved one, what Spirit will do is they will simply start reaching out on their own and leaving them spirit signs and some validation. And it's, at some point, perhaps somebody may be open or willing or has done some healing work, and they may reach out. But no, Spirit is very good to me that way on us out in public, on not putting me into situations. Now, that being said, I have gotten myself into a little bit of mischief where I've gone overboard with giving some readings in, a store, for example, in a mall here in my area. I went in and just to do some shopping. It was innocent start to my day. And Spirit showed up with my spirit sign to one of the clerks that work in the store. So I ended up giving her a reading, and what happened after that was reading after reading after reading occurred as customers were coming in, and I filled the store with people who weren't there to shop. They were suddenly very intrigued to the messages that were being given, and I was very politely asked to leave by security, because the manager of the store called security, and we got asked to leave. My dead people included. So yes, we have had some situations where we were asked to leave, and that's okay. It's there's one thing with Spirit is, they'll never force themselves on you, and neither will I. If people aren't open, that's okay. It's their journey, not mine. But we have had a lot of fun in out in public giving readings, and even like groups. I do groups in up to 200 people, and smaller groups, family groups, and we just have so much fun. And even with these groups, usually when I'm on my way to a group event, what happens is they start filling up the vehicle. It's a good thing I drive a fair sized truck, because they do pack in, and I'm literally on my way. They'll start chatting with me about coming to the party, and that they're going to talk to their loved one, and they start telling me the story, and letting me know who they are. And it's a lot of fun to hang out with Spirit. Yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed this little chat here today. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll be back again soon with some more great stories and adventures with the Hawk and I.